Only a few weeks ago, the 3WideRacing League finished up their year-long Truck and Cup Series seasons. Now that everyone's had a few weeks to relax, kick back, and enjoy a couple of weekends, we head into the postseason to run the remaining 2 series in the 3-Wide Triple Crown. Sundays are the K&N National Car, Mondays are Street Stocks on Dirt. For the first time ever, the K&N Impala races on SYM TV, and we started all in Texas. Finny, in this car, got the new tire model a couple builds ago, and it is fun to drive. Let me tell you that. It's the first time it's ever raced on this network. Very excited to see how this races tonight in a 100-lap race in the 3-Wide Triple Crown of the Nationals.
Yeah, this should be a lot of fun. We compete in a Saturday night series with the Outsiders guys, and this car puts on really good racing. It really gives that old school NASCAR feeling that we saw in the 2000s. And really fun to race, really fun to drive. I'm sure these drivers are going to have a blast, all 21 of them out there.
You mentioned old school. Well, a lot of drivers have taken this opportunity with the blank slate that is the K&N car. They've taken it as an opportunity to throw it back just a little bit. We've got a bunch of drivers tonight that are running some throwback schemes. Others have not gone on board with that, but one driver that is Corey Lindsay in the 00. Look at that car. A little bit of a wall scrape out of turn 4, but running old templates, old liveries, old manufacturers. It's a really cool looking promotion that these guys are doing. I know a couple other drivers. Michael Henry's running an old scheme on there.
Yeah, he's got the old Monte Carlo taillights on it as well. Some guys have really gone all out with their paint schemes as well.
Lionel Lewis Amaso's running a Dodge Charger scheme on here that looks really cool as well. So a lot of drivers experimenting with different colors, different manufacturers. It's going to be a fun 3-round series. We started off all this week in Texas. A couple new names in the field here this week. Michael Henry crosses the line first in the number 88. He's new. Ethan Burrell comes over and joins us from the elite side of things. We've actually done a broadcast with him way back a couple months ago, their finale, the Xfinity series that he ran in. I don't remember if he was the champion or something, but he was a story in there. So Burrell in the number 1 car rolls off. That's a great looking. That's a very old. Is that a Lumina or is that an Impala? I can't remember what that is there. It looks like a Lumina is what that is. Oh no, it's Monte Carlo.
It's Monte Carlo.
Other drivers in the field, Drew Eisenman, he was the winner of the Roval Cross Triple Crown event, which was the stuff that we ran at the beginning of the year. So he's currently leading the overall point standings. And again, there's overall standings for the Triple Crown, and then there's individual series. So we're going to start with the blank slate for the Nationals, but Drew Eisenman continues to lead the overall standings as we head into tonight.
He's running a Ford Fusion. There's another Ford Fusion out there as well.
I believe, if I recall correctly, that I actually don't remember who it is. It's not Zelensky. I know that Zelensky's running a Taurus.
Yeah, he's wearing pretty much Mark Martin's Viagra number 6 Taurus.
Who was running? Oh, I think it was Race Clark. Yes, in the 25. This is probably one of my favorite schemes. So, the discussion about this car, Finn, the new tire model, we have to address the elephant in the room. This tire is weird to drive on for the first couple laps. Extremely loose and slippery for the first few laps. Then once it gets up to 10th, it's really, really good.
Yeah, and also the thing is, this thing wears out. Yeah, it really wears out to the point where at Auto Club, after I think 30 laps, my tire, my right front on the inside was down to 11%. It almost blew a tire, and you definitely can blow a tire in this. I want to point that out as well. So you got to be careful on your tire wear.
Yeah, so you can easily blow out your right front if you're abusing them. So that means that long run drivers are the key, and that means we're going to have comers and goers. So whether you're good or on a long run or a short run kind of depends on how you attack the racetrack. Now there's Tate Lytle. That's a great looking car. I didn't put a long look at it because he blinked out there, but let's zoom in. That's Kevin Harvick's old good wrench livery scheme, and I love this. It's a great looking race car. Got a minute left in qualifying. Levi Zelensky, he had a rough season this year, and I think this is a good time for him just to kind of throw things back and have a little fun here. Jordan McKeeboy goes quickest in the 21.
Yeah, that's the thing too. There's a lot of talks about this. If things work out well, this could be the car that these guys are running for next season. Bit of discussion.
Yeah, we have not, again, we've never seen this car race on this network. We've obviously never seen it race on the new tire model. We've driven it, and there are some caveats to it. If you get in the fence, it's a bad time.
Yeah, I was going to say, hopefully if that does get fixed out and ironed out in the next build that iRacing's putting out, that should get rid of that. But I would definitely, honestly, like to see this more. I'm kind of sick of the new Cup car. I don't really like it that much.
Yeah, I don't think anybody likes it.
To be kind of honest.
All right, hey, look, air temp 78, track temp 130. Oof. It's hot, it's slick, it's going to be a lot of fun sliding around. Now, question mark, do you think we're going to go green a long way, or do you think we're going to have a couple cautions?
I think we might have a few cautions. Again, the new car for a lot of these drivers that really probably haven't driven it, at least around probably Texas, they might have driven it around in shorter tracks. It's pretty much used as a K&N car on the iRacing service, but these guys obviously using it more as a cup car.
If I recall correctly, This car originally was built as what was then the Nextel Cup car. Then immediately the COT was announced back in 2007, and then the model was basically the Busch Series car for many years. Then it turned to the Nationwide car, and then it was relegated back to K&N car status with K&N car physics. So as it stands, it is a K&N car, but it originally started way back when as a Cup car body, so that's what it's based on.
Yeah, and I remember when I got on their service, I got it as part of a package deal they had combined with the new, the then new B car, I guess Gen 5.5. And there never really was a next gen Xfinity car, or Nationwide car then.
So let's roll through our starting grid for tonight. On the front row, it's going to be Jordan McEvoy from the Mid-South in the number 21. Levi Zielinski from Michigan on the outside in his number 6.
And then moving on back to row number 3, Chuck Sweeney. We start on the inside lane, that 26. And outside of him in 4th will be the 5, the same close.
Row number 3 is going to be the 5th place car. Ethan Burrell, the number 1 from the Northwest. Michael Henry, the Floridian, in the number 88. That's that navy blue car on the outside lane. He rolls off in 6th.
Back in row number 4 in 7th place, got Tate Lytle on the inside on the 56, and outside of him will be Jim Eisenman, the 77, starting in 8th.
In 9th place, it's going to be Luis Almaso in the number 4. And right alongside Justin Cole in the number 52, the Californian in 10th.
Moving on back in 11th place, you got the 25, Race Clark from Carolina on the inside of lane, and outside of him in 12th, the 24, Carlos Acosta from Florida.
Row number 7, Johnny Thomas in the 83, a past Truck Series champion from Ohio. Dave Hunt in his number 53 rolls off in 14th.
Back in 15th, we got Kevin Finn in the 14 car from England, and outside of him in 16th, Logan Shea in the 33 from Ohio.
Another one of those new names joining the series just for this. That's a great looking livery, the old Red Bull car. Matt Gruenberg, season champion in trucks and in Cup, 17th place starting position for him, right alongside Liam Sheen in the number 72 car, starting 18th.
Back in 19th, we got Jonathan Cogswell in the 27 from Indiana, and outside of him in 20th, Nathan Velez in the 48 from California. And actually rounding out our grid, there's one more car. I think that might be Corey Lindsay. That is indeed Corey Lindsay coming through the picture there. He'll be your 21st starter, rounding out the field for tonight.
Up at the front of the field, though, a bunch of drivers had some good qualifying runs, but it is Jordan McEvoy that got it done tonight. 100 laps on the board. It'll be about a 50-minute race. The K&N Impala has never raced on SYM TV. We intend to change that right now. The 3WideRacing League Nationals Triple Crown begins in Texas. Pace car with 3 and 4 pulls off. McEvoy in the number 21 Infinite Empire car is going to lead him down to the green. Green flag flies, and we're racing in the Lone Star State. Whoa, the 5 of Sam closed all sorts of sideways into turn 3, trying to save it. He's got the 1 of Ethan Burrell behind him, jumping on the binders. 3 wide in turn 4 as Close wrestles that car. He's got it saved. What a drive.
In the background, though, the 72 of Liam Sheen's in the wall, sideways and through the grass.
And he's going to jump off the racetrack to avoid throwing the yellow. Otherwise, all free and clear. Now, this car is going to spread out quite a little bit.
Yeah.
We're going to see comers and goers as this run goes on. So it's going to get real separated and look boring, but I trust me, this is going to be some spectacular
racing. The great thing, look at that, in 52, you can actually pass.
You can pass really well. Look at this group behind Ethan Burrell in front of him. Acosta, Finn, Gruenberg, all in this fight, slipping and sliding on the cold tires as they come up to 10.
It's going to take a little bit of saving, too, so we might see some, like the saying, we might see some comers, might see some goers as well, depending on how guys drive. You got to be nice to this car, you can't abuse it.
Matt Gruenberg in the 54, champion in both the trucks and the Cup Series this year. Almost unheard of how good he was. Drives to the bottom of the racetrack, tries to get underneath Kevin Finn. A couple different ways you can approach driving this car. You can drive off into the corner incredibly deep, jump on the brakes, slow it up, and then kind of sacrifice some exit speed, or you can enter real slow and focus on the exit. Both work well, but it's all about conserving those tires if you want to be fast at the end of the run. It's amazing how much off-throttle time these cars have. They don't have a whole lot of horsepower, about 500. But they still do get down the straightaways pretty darn good. About 180 on the back straight. Ethan Burrell lost a couple spots in the early going, trying to avoid the 5 of Sam Close sliding up the racetrack. And he's dropped back down to 11th spot, but now attacking Johnny Thomas in that orange Carhartt 83.
Trying to build up a run here to make a move on the 83 and Johnny Thomas. We see Grunberg looking to the inside the one, good to give him the lane. Able to make the pass, man. I know I'm gonna sound like I'm over-exaggerating, but I love seeing guys being able to make moves again.
It's so interesting because over the course of this race, Jordan McKeeboy's got a 6/10 of a second lead. I don't think Jordan McKeeboy's gonna be leading this at the end of this long green flag run. We're gonna see drivers come through the field, other drivers burn their stuff up, and that's so exciting to see again. We have not really seen oval racing that allows this kind of action in a long time, and it's very refreshing, as you said.
In the Cup Series, I want to point out, Xfinity Series, it's pretty.
But we don't broadcast any Xfinity racing, or at least we haven't recently.
Yeah, and actually speaking of which, Fuel Cup Series are switching to Xfinity cars, so we'll see that next season for them. But meanwhile, here's the one going to the inside. The 83 Thomas starting to fall back a little bit.
Matt Grunberg up to 10th. Looking off the rear bumper of him, that's Burrell behind him trying to recover his starting spots. But the 54 is clawing his way forward, but the fastest car on the racetrack right now is still your leader. McKeeboy has led all 6 laps that we've completed so far and rolling that inside lane. And as the night goes on, we might see some drivers try the upper grooves, but I think right now it's going to be a battle for that white line. Don't get that apron, though. You will slide yourself up the racetrack.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much going to be bottom lane dominant. Might see guys try the middle lane once the tires start to get a little bit more worn out, but everyone pretty much protecting that white line.
Race Clark at the 25. Trying to hold off Matt Grunberg. Look at the run Grunberg gets down the back straight. Was able to hold that car so hard to the left. And off into 3. He's going to drive in a little bit deeper. He gets the job done. Pass completed. Up the road, Drew Eisenman in the 77. He won the Roval Cross Championship earlier in the season. Running the Rallycross cars on road courses. We had a lot of fun doing that one. But look at the 52 of Justin Kolb on the inside, side by side onto the back straightaway.
Both drivers door to door, side by side down the back straightaway.
Tate Lytle right in front of them was a championship contender in the Cup Series this year, wasn't able to get it done. And Kolb completes the pass, but he's going to slide up on exit and leave him right in the 77's grasp again on the front straightaway.
He was getting the wall off before, just going to be clear.
A lot of field separation towards the middle of the group. But how about Chuck Sweeting in this 26 running in 4th right now? I'd expect him to get better over the course of the run. Has a real gentle touch on these cars, and I think it's going to benefit him in the long run here.
I can definitely see him benefiting from this style of racing. I think it's more suited to his strong points, so I can definitely see him coming back up to the front. Still in the front, more or less running in 4th.
Ethan Burrell, actually we're going to stay on this as Tate Lytle jumps to the bottom of the racetrack. Sweeting, I don't know if he gave him the line or just wanted to try the upper groove, but didn't work out. And
might have been a little bit of both.
Yep. Eisenman sizing up Justin Kolb yet again.
Justin Kolb with Chevy SS badges on that car. That's a zombie car.
That's a throwback, just only like 2013. Which was 6 years ago.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
The interesting thing is what I didn't realize, too, if we're talking about different cars, is the fact that we ran the Gen 6 car longer than the Gen 5 car.
Wow.
Which is kind of an interesting thing, because it doesn't seem like that.
It certainly doesn't. The Eisenman, the run that he's getting. And again, we haven't really seen him attack oval racing a whole lot beyond just the truck series this year. So it'd be fun to kind of watch him negotiate these K&N cars a little bit. Look how bouncy it is in 3 and 4. Drivers fighting the compression. They're a little tight out of turn 4, a bit of a slide. And in the background, I see Richard Hines going at it with the 33 of Logan Shea, new name in the series, battling for 16th.
Shea with a beautiful car, the throwback to the Red Bull racing cars that ran in the late 2000s.
It was one of my favorite schemes, especially when they ran the inverted version with the silver. Gosh, that was such a cool moment.
I wish they came back, because they actually did pretty solid, all things considered, especially when Kane was running with them. They made the chase that year.
Yeah, if they had stuck around a little longer, they would have done all right. But never know, they could come back. Look at the crossover by Shea. He's going to turn down through the center of the corner, build a run. That's what I love about these cars. They allow you to try to drive the car down or up the racetrack, wherever you want to take it. They tend to fight a little bit of understeer through the middle of and towards the end of the run, but it's all about how you beat your stuff up through the middle. Look at the gain that 33 has through the center of the corner.
Trying to build up a run here. Gonna back out of it. 24. Got the 24 of Acosta.
Whoa, he's in the fence.
The wall.
And he's gonna slow way down. Driving that safer barrier. Here comes Nathan Velez. He got a slow start to this race. He's gonna drive right on by the 24 like he's stopped. So up at the front, I told you that we might not. Actually, we've got a battle for 7th and Grunberg charging.
Not much of a battle.
Yeah, he's gained 10 spots in 15 laps. How about that?
He's been doing a slow climb to the front, doing his typical usual strategy, just starting in the back, driving it to the front. Working well for him so far.
I mentioned earlier that Jordan McKeeboy might not be leading this at the end of this run. Well, we're about, what, a third, halfway through the run, and Levi Zielinski is slowly starting to track McKeeboy back down.
Well, last time through, they ran almost identical lap time. McKeeboy was slower by 1,000th of a second. Whoa. I definitely didn't do this.
I don't know if I ever did this one either. This is a nice camera, though. I like that. And look, they're still hooking that white line. 16 laps complete here at Texas. All clean and green so far. The only casualty, Liam Sheen, spun out early on the opening lap. Drew Eisenman all over Luis Salmaso for 8th. I think it was actually Salmaso that just got by. And so the 4 is moving his way back forward and up the road. Justin Kolb, Matt Grunberg, 2 of the drivers that were competing for the Cup Series championship. Kolb almost had him in the closing laps of the Homestead race a few weeks back. Grunberg ran out of fuel coming out of turn 4 and just made it to the start-finish line.
Yeah, we saw those drivers there struggle to pass. Well, no longer a problem for them now, although Kolb's doing his best here. I'm sure he's wishing Grunberg could pass him. He's all over the back up to 52 now in that Ford. Just a Ford, though. Doesn't have a model defined.
Look at Chuck Sweeting back to the inside of the 88 of Michael Henry. And going to complete that pass. It looks so effortless now, doesn't it? I mean, they just go down there, they go into the corner, they just make the pass. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You see the same thing here with Coleman Grunberg. And for the lead, the lead has dropped down to about half a second. And I think it will continue to drop. Look ahead here. There's Jordan McKeeboy and Levi Zielinski slowly tracking him down. That time was a big gain through 3 and 4 for the 6.
He's really closed that gap significantly, down under 4/10 of a second, now under 3/10 of a second. So he's catching up, might be able to make a move here on McKeeboy.
Michael Henry back to the inside of Chuck Sweeting in turn 1, wasn't able to get underneath him all the way. Justin Kolb, Matt Grunberg, pass complete for the 54. No, he slides on corner exit, but he still gets the job done. He power slid out of turn 2, got the job done. Meanwhile, for the lead, here comes McKeeboy and Zielinski.
Zielinski clipped the apron there. Got to be a little bit careful.
I told you 20 laps ago. I said, hey, Jordan McKeeboy's not going to lead this whole thing, because if you go out of the gate and you don't pace yourself, you will get caught again, and that is what has happened. Levi Zielinski now going to roll the upper groove and let the 21 make a mistake. Right on the bumper. Down the back straight for the lead. A bit of a block by the 21 into turn 3. Great maneuver by the 21 to hold on.
You guys being aggressive.
There's no, I mean, again, it's only 3 rounds. You can piss everyone off you want. Look at that. Side by side for the lead. Zielinski makes a hard left on the front straight. He's going to drive right on by. Can he get the job done into turn 1? I don't know if McKeeboy's got a whole lot for him now.
I think if anything, McKeeboy might just try to fall in line, maybe figure out what the 6 is doing.
You know who was the quickest car last time by out of this front group?
6?
Michael was quick. Chuck Sweeting was quick. Everybody but the front 2 were quick. So now everyone's starting to accordion back together as we near the 1/4 mark of this race. And Lytle now quickly gaining on McKeeboy as his lap times are dropping off significantly now.
Yeah, McKeeboy probably definitely pushed too much on that last run. Now starting to fall into the clutches of the rest of the field.
Gosh, this is fun to watch.
Yeah, it really is.
I wish we had these cars back as the Cup cars. Drew Eisenman is, I don't know if he's lost connection or if he just dropped out or what, but he's off the racetrack.
I feel like he might have lost connection. It doesn't look like he came to the pits.
Yeah, I didn't, 77 just dropped out.
That's unfortunate.
For second, though, Tate Lytle is dropping upwards here as he closes in on the 21. We'll take a look, and McKeeboy's going to slam the door on him on the grass down into turn 1. Passing the grass, Texas style, I think. Here comes Lytle.
McKeeboy can't do much. He's going to let Lytle roll on through.
Look at them all using all sorts of different lanes. And
awesome.
Here comes Sweeting. This is so fun.
Whoa!
Look at him walk down the back straight. Wow! Sweeting gets blocked all the way to the wall on the back straightaway, and now has to reset himself to get by McKeeboy. And Jordan is driving the wheels off this race car right now.
Oh, Sweeting almost getting sideways, trying to turn down in through the tri-oval. Or quad-oval as he gets onto the inside.
And look how quick the 21's dropping through the field. A couple laps ago, he was the leader. Now he's in 4th and about to be 5th. That's the price you pay for driving out ahead and getting the lead early. You burn up your stuff and you fall back through the field. This is not something the drivers have had to worry about all season long. This is a new challenge for them, and it's fun to watch. Look at Michael Henry up the racetrack. Wow, slides out of 4, drives right on by.
Here comes Grunberg, Kova as well in behind.
You know, I've noticed Grunberg, again, he gained 10 spots the first 10 or 15 laps. His pace has slowed up significantly. He's also driven pretty hard. Not
surprised with it. He's got to do a lot of work passing some guys.
For the lead. Here comes Tate Lytle.
Look at this, Monte Carlo versus Taurus.
And into turn 3, to the bottom of the racetrack goes Tate Lytle. Levi Zielinski on the outside trying to protect. Side by side, lap number 26, the 1 quarter mark. And I think Lytle's got it.
Yeah, Zielinski's a little bit loose off turn 4 head of heel.
And this is really halfway through the run. This is really the point where everyone starts to kind of coagulate back together. Look at Kolb now dropping to the bottom of the 88.
And Henry's not looking too hot. Henry's got some rear end damage. I'm not sure where he got that from. He's had that for quite a while.
One of Ethan Burrell. Remember, he dropped out of the field at the beginning of the race to avoid the sliding Sam close. He's only gained 2 spots back since that. The 21 of McKeeboy was the leader at lap 20. He is now going to be 9th place, only 7 laps later.
And so I'm also keeping him earnest, going to the inside there, just trying to squeeze on by on the white line. McKeeboy not giving him much room. Now he'll off in like a 1 on by. So
this is a huge drop off in pace.
Yeah.
And I think McKeeboy is probably cursing himself right now for going out a little bit too fast. It's all about pacing. Salmaso, Burrell, into turn 3, door to door.
Someone's take a video of this and ask me like, more of this.
This is what we need. You can take the power away, but just take all the grip away, please. I prefer like 1 million horsepower, but that's just me. Zielinski and Lytle ran pretty even laps the last time by. Now is Tate Lytle charging too hard in the second part of this run?
We'll have to see. Only time will really tell with this. And you got Chuck Sweeting still looming in the background, although he's been starting to turn up the lick just a little bit in recent laps. He's closing in on the leaders. In fact, Sweeting and Zielinski ran identical lap times last time by. This time by, Lytle the fastest out of the top 5.
Sam closed at the 5, trying to start his recovery after his slip and slide on the opening lap.
Yeah, it's been a really good recovery up in the 9th. All things considered.
He dropped deeper in the field than our graphic shows, but started up in 4th. Dropped a little ways. Now behind him, McKeeboy back outside of the top 10, only 10 laps after he lost the lead.
His tires must be gone.
So now you have to wonder, when do the tires start to blow? Because every time that he leans on that right front, he's scrubbing it off more.
I don't think he's going to be able to make it a halfway on the set. I think he's going to have to probably come in. Pace he's dropped off. I think he's going to probably have to come in around lap 40.
Johnny Thomas got some nose damage, and it might match up with the rear damage we saw on another vehicle up the road. So I'm not sure those 2 cars have anything to do with each other, but that's not insignificant damage. Kevin Finn has also pulled it off, as has Carlos Acosta. I'm not exactly sure why. There's no damage on these cars. They just look like they are stopped.
Acosta's got some right side damage. He might have called it a day with that.
Could have. And 21 hits pit lane. Lap number 30. Going to make this maybe a 2-stopper. I think it's going to be a 2-stopper either way, I would think, no?
Yeah, it's going to be kind of close. I'll have to see here.
Well, I think he's got to do something.
These guys might be looking at around a 40-45 pit window, I want to say. That's just a guess. I have absolutely no clue.
So let's just see how it all works out here. As McKeeboy hits pit lane, he's the first driver to come take tires. He needs them badly. The problem is that it's not going to teach you how to save them. He's going to go back out there and probably tear him off again in 10, 15 laps. So it's all about conservation. As Lytle leads the way, he's starting to grow that lead. Burrell up to 5th, Justin Kolb in 6th, trying to chase him down.
Everyone else is going to come in. We're just about a third of the way through this race now, coming to complete lap 33. Up here comes Grunberg down into the pits. So that's telling me we're going to be a 2-stop here.
Yep, and that's exactly a 3rd marker. So the 54 comes on in. Now, for guys like Tate Lytle and Levi Zielinski, guys that have made the tires last, stay out as long as you can. You want to make sure that your speed on the old tires is better than everyone else. Don't pit and ruin that. You're beating everyone right now. Yeah, they're going to come out and they're going to probably beat you on pit lane with the undercut.
Update on the 21. His right front is down to 14%. Not too surprised considering the fall off he had.
Yeah, and that worries me a little bit because if he drives out a little bit too hard in this run, that's close.
I imagine he probably learned.
That's within 2 or 3 laps of blowing it out.
Yeah, I was gonna say he probably learned from the way it fell off. He probably dialed it back a little bit.
But I mean, it's caution!
Caution
Whoa!
For Dave Hunt.
No, that's Nathan. Oh, he gets drilled by the. I think that was the 52 of Kolb. Big crash in turns 1 and 2.
And first caution of the day.
And that's to be likely the night over for Justin Kolb. That's a real shame. First car we saw around was Nathan Velez in the 48. What happened here? He blew a tire.
Yeah,
tire down on the 48, and I think he's going to get drilled right here on the 52.
Yeah, folks picked the wrong lane.
That's right on board. This is the first time I've ever seen this happen.
And you'll see here, you'll just see the right front just drop. And bam, right there.
Not much that you can do, and the whole suspension gets thrown off when that happens. And again, you might be able to see the sparks come out from underneath this car when the tire blows. It only blows about a foot from the wall right there. And actually, it could have been a whole lot worse. If he had been farther from the wall, it would have hit harder, but the car almost turns over. And then the 52 car comes into this picture, and he was already kind of committed to the corner and just could not stop, and glancing blow. And
he was running low and then went high last second. If he stayed low, he would have been able to avoid it from what I saw.
Guessed wrong. I wonder if could he have blown a tire on the brakes trying to miss this?
I don't think so. I think he just was braking too hard.
No, he didn't blow it out. He just was braking too hard and could not rotate that car around. So this kind of throws a couple people in a disarray because I don't really know how the pit cycle was working out. But
Gruberg's going to be a lap down. McKeeboy's going to be a lap down as well. So they kind of got the short end of the stick on this. They're going to have to stay out and get their wave around.
So our first caution of the night is for a spinning 48 of Nathan Velez, collecting the 52 of Justin Kolb. Tire blown on the 48. That's what caused that issue.
Yeah. And, actually, looks like the 54 of Gruberg's going to be able to take the wave around. Yep. Or free pass.
Save the date, by the way. What's it, November 24th? Let's say November 24th. This is the first day that we've had a tire blow out on SYM TV. First time it's ever happened. It's been possible all these years, but it just took really, really long to get there. Like, you would have had to run hundreds of laps. Now it's a more realistic number. You beat yourself up, you're going to blow a tire out. So for those that were able to conserve their stuff early, I think they're looking pretty good. Tate Lytle, especially.
This is a rough pace in the field.
Oh, yeah, well, I guess we got a little Porsche sponsorship this week. So this begs the question now. Tate Lytle didn't fire off all that great. Does he get swamped on this restart?
I think he'll do fine. I mean, I think if anything, he's just pacing himself earlier. I think if anything, he should be fine for the next run. We might see him drop back a little bit on the initial start if guys decide to push earlier, but I think, this first run was really good testing ground for a lot of drivers, and they were able to figure out, how much are they able to push, to adjust the way they attack this race.
Ethan Burrell in the number 1 car. Remember at the early part of the race, first lap actually, Sam Close was all sorts of sideways. Burrell dropped to 11th trying to miss it. Here he is back inside the top 5 where he started and looking like he's going to be pretty good on this run. He's got a competitive lap time. His best lap is right up there with the drivers around him, so he should be pretty good on this restart here, which should happen in about a lap and a half here. Drivers getting caught back up the field. Matt Grunberg getting sent back around to the tail of the field. Shutting that engine off. saving fuel. Like, yeah, I mean, again, you're still going to have to make a stop from here, so it's not a huge deal. But
I think he's just keeping his options open for a strategy, I guess.
It's never a bad idea to save fuel. At the very least, you're saving some turtles somewhere. But, all right, lights are going to be off of the pace car. 1 to green. We're going to re-rack and restack him. The 21 of Jordan McEvoy, Dave Hunt, and others, Logan Shea, they get away around.
That's actually is a question. So what do they do with the used food, like the leftover fuel in cars?
I know the oil they recycle.
Right, that makes sense.
I don't know. I think the fuel they just dump back and they reuse it later, I think.
I'm just curious, 'cause that's like...
I do know that they take it out at the end of the weekend. They don't transport it with fuel in it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, they take it out. What do they like? I guess there's no point in not reusing it.
And field working their way down the back straightaway now. And track temp has been an issue tonight. 126. It's dropped a little bit.
It's starting to get cooled down. But still pretty hot, all things considered, 126.
Yeah, still pretty toasty. That still means you're going to be tearing up your tires quite a bit, especially now the rubber's all on the bottom of the racetrack. If you're up in the middle of the high groove, you're going to be eating up those tires. You want to be where that rubber is, smoothing out that groove. Anyway, Tate Lytle, Levi Zielinski, Chuck Sweeting, Burrell, and Henry, your top 5. Coming back to the green flag, 10 laps from halfway. 56 has the lead. Green flag back in the air here at Texas. Lytle got a great restart as he heads down the back straightaway behind him. Matt Grunberg going defensive and offensive on the 27, and Jonathan Cogswell has got some right front damage, but for the lead, Lytle blocks Zielinski. Here comes Sweeting way high in turn 4.
Oh, into the wall, Sweeting goes.
No, that's going to hurt.
Oh.
Upside down, tumbling, and caution's out.
Sweeting's going to be done.
Yeah, so remember that thing I said earlier, don't hit the wall? That's the one thing about this tire that still needs some tweaking, but other than that, pretty good. This is just committed too early. Kind of tumbles. Yeah, he sure did. Yeah, again, it's... I don't expect the tire model to be perfect. Obviously, that's a very frustrating issue to have because it should have just been a little wall scrape. But anyway, the racing's good, so I'll give him a pass on that one. Caution out for the second time tonight. Burrell sits 3rd after that. Liking the look of this one car right now. Lytle's also looking pretty good. And again, he got a pretty good restart. I was a little bit concerned that on the short run, he might not have the pace of those around him. But he held off Zielinski pretty well. So we've lost a couple cars already. Chuck Sweeting, Velez, Finn, Acosta, Eisenman, and Corey Lindsay. And we've only really seen Chuck Sweeting, Velez, Chuck Sweeting and Velez as a result of crash damage. Everyone else had just kind of dropped off the ticker for one reason or another.
So I got 15 guys still roaming around, all of which on the lead lap.
Turn 4 now. Will we see pit stops here?
I see some guys in the back come in, but imagine the front guy's going to stay up.
It's like Cogswell's thinking about it. He's going to come on down. No harm, no foul. Might as well. And he's going to drag a couple drivers with him.
All these guys are pretty much in the back, so might as well just come get some service.
A little bit of race recap so far. It's been all Tate Lytle, Zielinski, and Jordan McEvoy, the leaders so far. It's been pretty good racing, I would say. Long green flag runs until about lap number 36, 37. We had a tire blowout on the 48. Caused a caution on the restart. We had the 26 of Chuck Sweeting commit to a little bit too much in turn 4. Got in the fence, and his night is over. Closing in on the halfway point of the 3WideRacing League. Triple crown at the Nationals here at Texas Motor Speedway. Again, tomorrow night we go Eldora racing with the street stock. That'll be a fun one. Eldora's always a good race.
Coming through the backstretch here. And pretty much I think this race is coming down to a battle between Lytle and Zielinski. I would have said Chuck Sweeting too, but obviously now that he's backed out of this race, I don't know about the one.
Yeah. I think he's going to have something to say about it. I mean, he was very patient working his way back after the slip up on the opening lap. He's got competitive lap times, and I think these front two are probably going to beat each other up, trying to beat each other. I think this one car is sitting in the catbird seat right now. Still don't have an explanation of what a catbird seat is, by the way. I've always... Oh, you're going to Google it, aren't you? I mean, cats and birds generally are not two creatures that you see with each other a whole lot. Nor do you see them...
Wait, is it cat bird or cat bird?
Cat bird with a D. Cat bird, like a hamburger?
I don't know. I think that makes more sense than what he ever...
I mean... Is it?
It's like the first thing that comes
Cat
up.
bird seat? What is it? Hold on, I can't read that. Bring it over here.
Okay.
So...
The catbird seat is an American English idiomatic phrase used to describe an enviable position, often in terms of having the upper hand or greater advantage in any type of dealing among parties. So yeah,
Hold on, I wasn't paying attention. What did it say?
Basically, if you have an advantage, if you're sitting in a position of
Where
an
did
advantage.
it come from, though?
I don't know.
Hold on, we're looking this up.
It's apparently a place called the catbird seat.
All right, so used by radio sports broadcaster Red Barber. And by Michael Waltrip.
Does it actually?
No, it doesn't. But okay, the phrase refers to the gray catbird. So what's the gray catbird?
No, it's actually a bird.
A medium-sized North American and Central American perching bird of the mimid family. It's the only member of the catbird genus Dimetella. Like the black catbird, it is among the basal lineages of the Mimidae, probably a closer relative of the Caribbean thrasher and trembler assemblage than of mockingbirds and toxostoma thrashers. In some areas, it is known as a slate-colored mockingbird.
Yeah, see, I'd rather go with a slate-colored mockingbird than a catbird.
Okay, also, we got a little update here from, I believe, Robert Cava, former Truck Series and Xfinity Series spotter. All fuel cans go back to Sunoco. Whatever is in the car stays in the car and gets loaded into the hull with it. Okay. Sunoco can never use the fuel. Okay, gotcha. Good to know. Cool. I feel like that's a little bit of a fire hazard, but that's just me.
I mean, if it's off.
I mean, didn't JTG have like a hauler catch on fire? I mean, it's probably like electrical issues, but still.
Oops.
Yeah, oops. That's a couple $100,000 oops.
I'm gonna say that's gotta be a big problem though for the fuel in the car to go like to catch on fire. Like,
yeah, I mean it's.
I mean, if it's a fire hazard, something else catching on fire. So it's not a fire hazard in and of itself.
All right. Well,
I guess I don't know.
So I hope everybody learned something about the catbird seat.
I still can't believe it's an actual bird.
That's a legit bird. Catbird seat. All right, coming back to the green, lap number 46. 5 laps till halfway. The 3WideRacing League Triple Crown with the National Impala, Lytle, Zielinski, Burrell, Henry, Selmaso, your top 5. Green flag back in the air. Look at the restart the 56 got that time. He's going to bring Burrell right with him. Zielinski did not get going.
89's at the 88 of Henry all over him now, back in fourth place. Burrell's easily going to take second, and Selmaso almost get third, but Zielinski's going to turn down on the 4.
And Zielinski wanted to get to the bottom of the racetrack as fast as he could to block that line for the 4. Down the back straightaway now. Behind him, look at the 83 of Johnny Thomas out of line on the 22. Michael Henry on the 4 down in the 3.
He's going to look up the inside lane, push Selmaso out of the groove. But meanwhile, from the front, here comes the 1 charging to the inside of Lytle.
He almost used that bumper on the 56, maybe a little early to do that. Now on the front straight, side by side to turn 1. And he's going to get it. Burrell to the lead on lap 47. Here comes Zielinski.
Zielinski taking advantage of Lytle backing off. Now they're going to be side by side down the back straightaway. I think Zielinski has the upper hand on the inside.
Remember, Lytle drove to the lead in the long run, so don't beat up your stuff now, Finian. You know that you're better than these drivers in the long run, so I would not, if I'm Tate Lytle, drive too hard right now. You know that you're going to be better. Just get in line, find a spot, and be patient. Let the car come to you. Everyone hunting for that white line right now.
Everyone else nose to tail here, also close.
Matt Grunberg was really, really strong on the opening run, but kind of got stalled around 5th or 6th and hasn't been able to gain a whole lot of ground past that. Now he enters the top 5, passing Selmaso in turn 4, but he can't complete it. Look at the 88 driving off into the corner. Almost got into the back of the 56. Drivers pulling dead even with each other. Everyone charging hard. Are they abusing their equipment too much?
Basically, I'm worried that Burrell starts to drive away from everyone else, and he's going to end up like the P1, but he's just kind of keeping pace with everyone else, so I don't think he's really pushing himself too much. Wow.
Selmaso he took that spot for granted. Wow.
Yeah, that camera got a face full of charger.
Tate Lytle's had a couple connection issues tonight, and see the 88 slip off the bottom. That's going to give Grunberg a run down the back straight.
He's in there. He's got to the inside quarter panel of the 88. Looks like Henry's going to give him the spot.
That was an awesome shot. Out of turn 4, Grunberg up to 4th spot. Now closes in on Lytle. Can he do anything with Lytle down by turn 1?
Look here. Yeah, here's the one Lytle's going to do. Obviously knows that Grunberg's a big threat for this race.
If you let the 54 get out front, he's not going to give it up. It's not going to be an easy guy to pass. So hold him back, block him, do everything you can. He saw McKeeboy in the opening run be incredibly aggressive with the blocks, and he was relatively successful. He just burned up his stuff a little bit too quick.
Happy's kind of sitting in behind for now. I think he's pretty much going to be fighting amongst the top 3 for the win. He's not going to be like the guys that let him on pass in behind.
Look at how hard he can turn off the exit. Now look at Zielinski taking a run at Burrell down the back straight.
Not close enough. He's going to have a late dive into the corner to the inside of the 1.
For the lead, Levi Zielinski on Burrell out of turn 4. Look at the 56. Slide up the track to the outside lane.
Oh, he's going to look middle 3 wide.
Oh, boy.
He's side by side for second, though.
NASCAR, what are you doing? Bring this racing back.
Whoa, Lyle gets to the middle of the corner. Almost got into the 1.
Look at that. Look at this racing. Down the back straightaway, lap 53. Grunberg looking for 3rd on Lytle. Bring this back. Whatever it takes. A hornet's nest for 3rd place, but Burrell slots in behind Zielinski.
In behind, some off to the inside of Henry. That's going to be a battle for 5th place, and they're just all going at it for the top few spots.
A mistake now is going to hurt. Are all these drivers driving too hard? I mean, we saw earlier the 21 get real tight. It was about a couple laps away from blowing out a tire. The 48 did blow out a tire. Pacing yourself. Is that what Zielinski's doing?
I think so. I don't think he's really pushing too far at the moment. It doesn't seem like it, at least anyway.
In about 10 laps or so, we'll have the pit window open up to go all the way to the end. Do you pit early? Do you pit late? What's your call?
I want to pretty much run as close as I can at splitting up these stints into 2 as much as I can. I don't really want to put too much wear on one side. That being said, if you're able to save your tire on this run, you can push longer and pit later and just charge harder in the later part.
Michael Henry gets by Jordan McKeeboy for 7th. And Jordan's going to try to fight back on the inside lane down the front straight. Can't get a run. Meanwhile, for the lead, here comes Lytle on the back bumper of Zielinski.
Round 2 between these guys. Grunberg also trying to have a say in this fight. Having a look off to the inside of the corner, can't get anything done. Grunberg just kind of waiting patiently, waiting for his moment to strike.
Building up a run. Look at the 56. Look at the run he's got now.
Off the corner there you see Lytle almost looking into the grass trying to make a move. Can't get it done. Backs off the corner. Grunberg gets a huge run inside.
Down the back now.
Oh, here he comes. He's gonna have a look. Zielinski gonna stay up top. Lytle looking down on the inside in turn 3.
Tate Lytle, he just is on fire in the late part of the run. Now, going for the lead on Zielinski. Side by side. Grunberg trying to pick which line's going to be better.
I mean, he's just kind of, I think, waiting for one of these guys to lose out. Particularly Zielinski on the top lane.
Yeah, he's going to lose, right? Caution behind him.
Oh, McKeeboy on the wall, as well as Race Clark. I think they got together.
Oh, that's going to be big damage for both those cars.
Actually, it doesn't look like 25. Oh, nope, that right front.
Yeah, he's gotten pretty torn up. McKeeboy led 21 laps in the early part of the race and slipped back to about 11th that run, and then he's just not been a force since.
He was running like 6th or 7th. This is right in behind the leaders.
Ooh, the 22 drove in pretty neat. And, ooh, wow. They just got hooked together.
Dancing around.
They just kind of like instant.
Whoa.
That was a little bit of netcode playing part in that, I think. I think the sim disagreed that those cars should be mating with each other at that particular point.
Physics got thrown out the window. Whoa.
There might have been a little, hold on, we're going to go back a little bit farther. There might have been a little bit of action before turn 1.
Just going out of turn 4.
No contact or anything.
Unless that annoyed Clark.
I don't think he drove off here on purpose. I think the 21, does he come down? He just kind of closes the door, and the 25 was already kind of committed. Wow, he whipped around fast.
That was physics not working right there.
And just noses into the wall. It was concrete, so it probably hurt more.
He might be alright with the amount of damage. The 21, not so much. Have to see here, but everyone down a pit lane.
So this is a question. Can we go all the way to the end? It's 40 laps. It's a little longer than we ran. Well, we know a couple cars certainly can't go 40 on the tires. It's not necessarily a fuel issue, it's the tires.
I don't know. Might be a bit of a stretch, but maybe.
Well, we've seen a lot of drivers shutting that engine off, coasting. How will this fare? Past halfway now, about 40 laps to go this time by, and you see drivers firing off. Tate Lytle's going to win the race off pit lane.
Oh, I think Groomer's going to get second.
And he does. Is that an advantage, though? I don't know if it is.
To see
Wait till they implement tire limits.
Yeah.
Then it'll get real fun. Onto the back straight, Tate Lytle. He's been pretty darn good tonight. Led 23 laps of the 60. Levi Zielinski has led 9. Morel has led a couple as well. Kind of buried in traffic here a little bit. I think he wants a chance to drive up to the front again.
Yeah, ever since he got up or out of the lead, he fell back a little bit, back in the fifth before that caution came out.
"60 laps complete here at Texas Motor Speedway for the 3WideRacing League Triple Crown, the National Cars. First of 3 races. Tomorrow we race Eldoro at the Dirt Street Stock. That's going to be a fun one. Again, 9:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then Tuesday night, Elite Modified Tour from the Milwaukee Mile. That'll be on speed51.com/Elite Modified Tour. And then following that at 9 p.m. will be the Grid Life UK Tour. Their final race from Brands Hatch at 9 p.m. Eastern right here on SYM TV. Wednesday night, the Washington, D.C. region SCCA. They fire off the TCR and the MX-5s from VIR. A little bit of a homecoming for them. That'll be at 8:30 p.m. on Wednesday night. Then we're off until we return again with more Triple Crown action next Sunday. Any favorites so far, Finney? I mean, it's going to depend, I think.
Yeah, really, I have my eye on pretty much 56. I would say, if anything, again, it's pretty much between these 3. Earlier I was saying it's between Lytle and Zielinski, but now you could throw Grunberg into the picture. And even the 1-2 looking pretty strong, but he's all the way back in 9th.
So, track temp has continued to drop over the course of this race, and it might help the tire length a little bit, but these guys should be good on fuel. The question is, can they make the tires last that long? And it's going to be tricky for some of the drivers that are fast in the early part of the run to last the whole time.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a stretch. It really comes down to how well you are at saving your tires, at least. So, they're going to get the restart here with 38 laps to go.
Yep.
Yeah, so, if you can make the tires last so long, I don't see why you can't go all the way, but that's really going to be the big thing, especially if it depends on really how much experience you have as a driver.
I'm not concerned about Tate Lytle. I'm not concerned about Grunberg. I'm concerned about drivers like Jordan McEvoy, who dropped off so violently in the first run, as well as Ethan Morel. I know the most recent run, he was driving pretty hard the opening run, and he got the lead away, but at the expense of his equipment. So it's all going to be about conserving the rubber on that car. Lytle's going to choose the inside. No reason to not do that. I think the inside's the best place to be for the restart here. He's going to have Levi Zielinski and the 88 of Michael Henry behind him. Grunberg is going to have the 4 of Salmaso and the 5 of Sam Close tucked in behind him.
Should be a fun race here. Can Grunberg take the lead from second place? We've always seen second be one of the more difficult places to restart from. But he does have some clean track up ahead of him. We'll see if he can use it to his advantage.
Grunberg's strength is the short run, though. Will he be able to carry that speed for the majority of the race? Here we go. 38 laps to go. Tate Lytle, Matt Grunberg, green flag back in the air. And Grunberg didn't get a horrible start, but not as good as that 56.
Side by side with Zielinski down into turn 1 here. Lytle going to take off away from them.
Michael Henry in the 88 got a good launch. He'll drive up the court.
We're trying to rocket around that outside lane, looking to the outside of Lytle.
Oh, he's there! He's to the outside, but can you make a pass up there?
Yeah, he might might be able to. He took advantage of Lytle being generous off the wall, but that made him back off, and there comes Zielinski back on the inside.
88 of Michael Henry, opportunistic move down the inside, looking at the 4 and the 5, arguing over some position down into turn 1. Zielinski drives right up to the bumper, but nowhere to go. Henry, nowhere to go for him either.
We get a little bit of that run off the corner, not enough though.
Trying to hang on in that middle groove, bouncing over the bumps. He's going to get shoved up the racetrack in turn 4. Car on the wall. Sam Close. Big impact there. Who's going to drop out of this field? Logan Shea in the 33 and Jonathan Coxwell going to drive on by. Top spot still in contest though. Zielinski's a little bit better in the short to mid run to the bottom of the racetrack.
Here he comes. He's going to have a look to the inside. Barely to the inside of Lytle. Can't get it done. Gruber's still there on the outside of third.
He's got it now. The outside groove through 3 and 4. Now Gruber's got it hooked up. Here he comes. 35 laps to go. Lytle's got the lead. Behind him is Grunberg and Zielinski. Now Matt's figured something out with the upper groove.
And not as strong and out of turn 2 than it is out of 4. You see Zielinski come back on the inside.
Lytle likes seeing this. These guys fighting behind him. Michael Henry in the mix. A new name to the series, enjoying a top 5 run right now, watching the battle for second in front of him.
Grunberg is able to win off the corner, but not get clear of the 6, and he can't really do anything until he gets clear as Zielinski.
We haven't really seen anyone make that upper groove successfully yet. And Grunberg's kind of stalled right now alongside the 6. Zielinski's moved up a little bit on entry.
Maybe trying to force Grunberg out of the groove. There he is, coming up a little bit on exit. Almost getting into each other.
Still side by side, closing in on 30 to go. Lytle's still got the lead, but look at the run. The 54 gets off into turn 1. Look at this! Inches between them, the top 3.
Yeah, 2 Fords in behind him. Done a great job at defending this lead away.
So close. Is he going to use the bumper? Will the 6 push him and shove him?
Oh, going to disappear for a little bit.
That's only a distraction for the 6. The 54 is able to use that to pull almost up alongside Tate Lytle.
Yeah, he's been barely able to get alongside. Not enough to really kind of make an attack.
Will we see any more blocking? We saw the 21 early in the race do it successfully. At least holding off a driver for a lap or 2. Oh, the 6 is on the apron in 3 and 4. He's going to be able to hold on. He does.
And I killed his run down the straightaway here. Grunberg to try to use some advantage. But neither driver really winning out in this scenario. They've been side by side for quite a few laps now.
This is really going to burn the 6's tires more than anybody else. I mean, he's scrubbing those the left and right front of the tire off the car. And Grunberg's probably going to eventually win this fight because he's not turning so much.
And the 80 and the 4 there kind of punching it out, but not side by side as the 54 and the 6 are.
Right on board with Michael Henry off into 1. Now Zielinski clears Grunberg. Maybe try a crossover on the exit of 2.
I'm going to try. Not going to have enough of a run off the corner to really do anything. Mexico files. 7-car breakaway up at the front, almost down.
Oh, hooked on the apron again. The 54 slipping and sliding in turn 4. He hangs on though.
Meanwhile, Lytle's able to drive a little bit away and give a little bit of separation between himself and Zielinski for a second.
So I'm also trying the upper groove as well, seeing if there's any speed to be had up there. But out for about 12 laps, I think this is where we're going to start seeing comers and goers. Who went out of the gate too fast on the restart, who didn't go fast enough. Closing in on 25 laps to go, only about 15 minutes of racing left.
Last time through, Zielinski was the fastest driver in the top 5. Starting to reel that gap back into Lytle. It's a very slow pace line.
Look at the 88. He's slowly creeping up on this 54 Grunberg. I think Matt might have overdriven just a touch. Now remember, the question mark is around lap 30 to 35 in the run. There'll be about 5 laps to go. That's when we're going to start seeing who's got tire left and who doesn't. And it tends to give you a pretty drastic understeer before it lets go. So you kind of know when it's going to happen, but whether or not you're willing to come down pit lane with 5 laps left, that's on you. Dave Hunt back in 8th. He was real close to the wall. And behind him, Logan Shea, Richard Hines. Oh, they got in the wall in turn 3.
Whoa, Shea sideways going into turn 3. He's going to back out of it. That's going to let the 2 of Richard Hines on by.
They've been having a nice little fight back here amongst themselves. Now Shea's going to try to drive back on by. Complete the pass and slide up on exit. Nicely done. Sam Close, Race Clark going for 11th. Pass complete. Up front, it's still Tate Lytle, but Zielinski looking pretty hot right now, closing back in.
Yeah, he has closing back quite a bit. Now cut back up pretty much to 56 now. How is this going to play out? I imagine the 6 definitely went out his stuff a lot more than Lytle. You can see there how much more Lytle is able to keep it stuck to the inside.
Look at the run that Lytle gets to the center of the corner. We've seen the 6 be better, like the third mark of the run, and once he hit the halfway point of the run, that's where Lytle seems to be his best. So I think the 56 is probably free and clear, A, if his internet hangs on, and B, if he keeps running at this pace. Michael Henry do anything about this? He's sitting 4th tonight. It's been a great debut in the 3WideRacing League, sitting in 4th after starting in 6th.
I don't know he's going to have enough pace to tackle the top 3. Definitely sitting 4th with enough pace to hold off some awesome umbrella behind him.
Closing in on 20 laps to go now. And it's all a waiting game. You're not really going to know what you have until the last 15 or 20 laps. Last time by, Zielinski was quicker than Lytle.
The thing is, you can't also keep track of the tire. You only know when you come to the pits, so you can only really go by feel off of how much tire you really got left in it.
You can feel it, you'll know.
Yeah.
But, oh, Zielinski on that apron again, trying to maybe get a little bit more rotation out of it, but it just causes you to slip up the track.
Yeah, there's really no really telling how bad your tire is until it starts getting bad. At that point, it's kind of the point of no return.
Fastest car in the top 5 that time was your leader.
Once he started to fall off the base in here, and he's starting to fall back in the front of Grunberg and Henry.
Henry a little bit tight off of turn 2, up the racetrack a little bit.
Henry actually getting a little bit of a run on Grunberg.
How about this little fight? Dave Hunt, Logan Shea, Richard Hines, and Race Clark all in a battle for 8th. Front 5 closing up again. That time Zielinski was quicker. Yeah, again, I don't really know who's actually faster because they keep kind of trading back and forth.
Yeah, the entire top 4, they're all pretty close together. They're all within 0.6 of a second.
And rest assured, they're not stuck back here because there's aero push.
No.
They're in second because they're second fastest. And if they are going to be faster, they're going to get the lead.
Or just kind of waiting for the moment to strike. But yeah, they're not struggling.
No.
To get past.
If you're capable of passing, you can pass.
Yeah. Up, here we go.
Here comes Grunberg down at the bottom.
Got a much better line to the inside than the 6. That's telling me Zielinski's starting to fall off a little bit, and I think Grunberg's going to use it to his advantage. Can't get a run, though. Yeah,
he doesn't have to worry about Michael Henry just yet. The 88's still a little bit farther back. Now look at Grunberg. He's driving a little bit deeper into the corner now. And trying to gain on entry. And maybe use the slipstream down the draft on the front straight just to kind of keep that gap close. Burrell and Zelmasso behind. They're side by side. Wow, that got close. Burrell moving forward.
Zelmasso going to fall back and slip into 6th.
Second place, heating up still.
Under 20 laps left to go in this race. Grunberg trying to work over Zielinski, then potentially chart up to Lytle, but this battling going on for a second. It's allowing Lytle to break away from the rest of the field.
Oh, Grunberg had to lift out of turn 4, almost caught the fence. Quickest car that time in the top 5, your leader. Lionel has just been so gentle on this car tonight. He hasn't been overdriving it, and that's why he's out front right now. Zielinski's been a little bit better on the opening part of the run, just couldn't do it. Couldn't get by on the restart. Grunberg now trying to chase down the 6, but I think the 56 is the best car out here right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say I really feel like for these guys, for the 54 and the 6, I think they kind of need a caution to all this point, kind of reset everyone back together.
9th place, Logan Shea, Race Clark.
Yeah, but Race Clark too. That damage car is coming back up to the field.
Could have been a lot worse tonight for him. Gonna throttle up mid-corner and drive right on by the 33. Richard Hines gonna join the party as well. "16 laps to go this time by." Whoa, Hines a little slippery slidey, and that's going to push the 33 way up the track. And how about this? For third place, look at Michael Henry. Gets on by Matt Grunberg.
Able to pass out of turn 4. Move his way inside the top 3. So Grunberg's starting to really fall off now.
And now the question is, how good is this 88? We're going to see next time by if he runs quicker than the leader. He's 7/10 of a second back with 15 to go. He's got time to get there.
He's slipping on the apron there. I think that might be Henry's next target within a few laps here.
Across the line, he was quicker. About a 10th quicker was the 88. He was 2/10 quicker than the second place car. Michael Henry, again, a new name in the series, trying to chase down the juggernaut of the Cup Series this year, Tate Lytle. Didn't start off the Cup season the way he wanted, but he won a couple races, ended up going to the last race of the season with a shot to win the championship, and almost did it. And he's just looking for more victories right now. Michael Henry, quicker again, still the fastest car in the top 5. If you don't count Ethan Burrell, who's also caught this group. And look at him, he's going to drive right on by Matt Grunberg. Look how easy that was.
Yeah, Grunberg really starting to fall off pace. I'm kind of surprised that he's fallen off before the 6 has.
Whoa, here comes Henry. Down to the bottom.
He's starting to attack that Ragger machine, trying to get a run here. He's got time.
13 to go. Burrell is up in 4th. He's flying right now. Does he have time to get to these front 3? Henry's so close. I think he's going to have a run down here into 3, maybe into turn 1 next time by.
He goes for a look. Zielinski's going to block him off.
Zielinski's right here. He's going to hit that bump, and you can see that car wiggle and wobble up the racetrack. Here comes Henry. Zielinski's going to block, and Henry lifts. Surprised by that. I would have thought he'd be a little bit more pressuring on this 6. Losing the nose. Coming back to 11 to go. Lytle expanded his lead a little bit last time by about a 10th.
Still trying to build up a run. Definitely think he's faster than the 6, but obviously getting past him is going to be a whole different story.
Well, they're so close. That's the thing. Is I think the 88's quicker, but not by a whole lot. And their braking points are very similar for the corners as well. Burrell is closing in on them in addition, and if he can get up here, I wouldn't count. I mean, he's a little far back, but I wouldn't count him out just yet. A 10th a lap. They got 11 laps to go. He could be there. Look at how much he gains to the center of 3 and 4. He's going to be a force in this if he can just get by these guys in a reasonable amount of time. 10 laps to go. The 31-2 for the leader, 31-1s for every driver behind him. Michael Henry got a great run through turn 2.
Yeah, he's got just a quarter pound to the inside of Zielinski. Zielinski's running that slightly outside lane, but here comes the 88. Big dive into the corner.
Oh, he can't make it stick. He had to lift big time. Here comes Burrell. He's going to take this run and go somewhere with it to the top side. Henry got a little bit greedy there. I think he needed to make that move work, and it didn't. It's going to hurt him. Burrell goes up a little bit high. I don't know if that's going to work.
I think he's trying to set up a run out of turn 2, but I think he's a little bit too far behind. Not to see. Nope, he might be close enough.
Great run down the back
He's
straight.
at the run.
Down to the bottom for 3rd. Henry drove off in there pretty deep. It's going to be too deep. Burrell gonna chase that white line through 3 and 4 for third place. Here comes Ethan Burrell.
Tight on exit here. Nope. Henry gives him enough room. Burrell gonna soldier on through into third place.
He's got it. Burrell the third.
What a pass. Great job setting that up.
Henry's not quite done with him yet. I just don't know if he's got the pace to drive back around the one.
I don't think so. I think this one's probably the fastest guy in the top 4 right now as far as tires. I think he's been waiting for this moment. It's time to strike now.
Waiting for the tires. We've been out here for a little bit, 33 laps. That's as long as we've seen anybody go on tires before we had one of them blow out earlier in the night. Can we make it all the way to the end here? Fuel is not an issue. It's all about the rubber. Is Tate Lytle driving too fast?
Well, anything, he's got a chance to back off just a little bit. Feels like he's driving too fast.
I just think he's been doing such a good job conserving his equipment. I think the drivers behind him are the ones that have been driving so hard, racing each other. Does anybody fall victim to a cut tire, blown out tire by the end of this race? 6 laps to go for Tate Lytle. He's got a 1.1 second lead out up front. He's led 58 laps tonight. Ethan Burrell charging forward. How about a battle for second now?
He's definitely got a lot more pace. Probably more of a threat than the 88.
And the speed differential now is too great. I don't think Zielinski can hold him off.
With the run to the inside, across the line. Just having said, look at the speed difference.
5 laps to go for Tate Lytle. For Burrell, driving down to the bottom of the 6 for second. He's going to do it, and up to second goes Burrell.
So let's get way out of the groove. He's going to be under attack from Henry now and behind. Here comes Henry for third place now.
New names in the series, putting it up against the best of the best. Henry to third.
That's how you get noticed, too. Great job by both these drivers.
Whoa.
Henry up in the third.
A little tight out of 4, but he got it done. 4 to go for Tate Lytle. Burrell was a lot faster that time, but he's not going to get there in time.
Yeah, he needed probably 10 more laps, but even then, they probably would have had a pit stop then in that case. But it was too little too late, but still, second place is a solid run.
Absolutely, especially after how all the spots he lost early in the going. Tate Lytle has put on a clinic. He's been perfect tonight. Hasn't made a single mistake. Not a scratch on that car. 3 laps to go here in Texas.
This field spread out quite a bit. There's a big gap back from Grunberg to Salmaso.
And Jonathan Cogswell, I'm keeping an eye on him because he's slowed way down. I think we're only seconds away from seeing this car shoot up the racetrack with a blown tire. Oh yeah, that thing's way understeering. Oh, there it goes!
Oh!
Tire blown on the 27.
Yeah, he should be able to get off the track or at least keep it on the inside lane. I don't think it's going to be much of a problem.
Yeah, oh gosh.
Oh.
They drive so funky when they have the tires blow out on them. And he's going to pull down to the bottom of the racetrack.
I don't think they need to fix this part of the fence. I feel it's a little bit too exaggerated, but it's just me.
It's like driving a wheelbarrow. 2 laps to go for Tate Lytle. Still clean and green. For Lytle, a championship slipped through his fingers in the closing moments of the Cup Series season. It was the aero push, the understeer. He couldn't do anything about it. Tonight, he can control his destiny. He's been rock solid from the start of the run to the finish, pacing himself after starting in 7th, working his way through the field.
Yeah, and just ran a fantastic race. Didn't make a single mistake. Uh-oh.
He's back. Through 3 and 4, Tate Lytle, mistake-free tonight. He's going to put himself on top of the podium. And in firm control of the 3WideRacing League championship for the Triple Crown of the Nationals, Tate Lytle wins at Texas.
Scaring us there at the end.
Yeah, he almost didn't do it.
With his internet, Ethan Burrell, great job for him. Going to come home in 2nd. Michael Henry, same thing for him, coming home in 3rd. Zielinski in 4th, and Grunberg rounding out your top 5.
No surprises there. I mean, Lytle is just so good. Gets a congratulatory bump. That car was perfect until just then.
Yeah, we give him a lot of damage.
And he's going to get some more here. He's done it. What a race. And celebrations for the 56. And for the first time in a long time, Tate Lytle could control his own destiny, and he burns it down in the infield in the Lone Star State. Here's a look at your race results. Lytle, Burrell, Henry, Zielinski, Grunberg, your top five. And I think that's the biggest takeaway for me, Finian, is that the guy that dominates pretty much everywhere, Matt Grunberg, only finished 5th tonight.
Yeah.
And that surprised me. Is there a changing of the guard now that you can't just run hot laps for 100 laps?
Well, considering the way that Grunberg ran last season, I kind of hope so we don't just see one guy dominate the whole season. But yeah, no, definitely nice to see different guys. And again, a lot of the comers, a lot of the goers, a lot of guys able to suck in. I think I'm going to enjoy seeing, and I really hope we do more of this.
Absolutely. So again, 22 drivers enter tonight. Liam Sheehan out early with a spin. A couple other drivers didn't finish this race. McKeevoy, Kolb, Sweeting, Velez, Finn, Acosta, Eisenman, and Lindsay. Logan Shea and Jonathan Cogswell off in the closing moments of this one. But we'll be back in just a moment to talk to your race winner and the rest of the podium. Stay with us. Welcome back live to SYM TV in the 3WideRacing League Triple Crown. We're here now with 4th place finisher Levi Zielinski, driving the number 6. Levi, you were just talking to us on the break. Fighting Matt Grunberg, burned the tires off. Did you think you'd have anything for the 56 if you didn't have to fight Grunberg for so long?
Yeah, I really did. I noticed that we were pretty steady in the beginning with each other. He was able to hold his tires pretty well on that first stint, and then the second stint and third stint, I was able to keep the tires on a little bit better. But obviously, me and Matt battling did not do me any favors. My tires were pretty worn out. I mean, I was a little bit nervous about blowing a tire. My teammate Nathan blew out a tire earlier in the run, so it just makes you in the back of your mind. You're kind of self-conscious of, man, am I running it too hard? Where I'm gonna pop a tire too. But overall, I mean, it was fun racing. I think they put on a great show because you have to set up passes, and like I was telling my other teammate Ethan, is like the problem is with this car, you actually have to either, when you're racing for second and you have the guy right behind you, you also have to defend while you're trying to attack. So it's a really challenging with this car, and it's a lot of fun because it's a different dynamic than what we've been doing all season, which makes me super excited. It's definitely got me back in the mood for racing and just super excited for this car and everything that we have going on right now with it.
Did you have to adjust your driving style after that first run? Did you go out there and think, oh, I blew the tires off too quick? Did you have to adjust your style over the course of the race, or were you pretty happy with how your wear was working out for you?
No, the first run I definitely had to rethink my adjustments. I overran Jordan hard the first stint, so the second and third stint that we came out a little bit more easy on the beginning first 10 laps, because that's where it's key is you got to get that first 10 laps, you got to be easy on them so that way you can hold them off for the end of the for the long run. So that's like the real difference with this car is you have to think long run at the beginning of these races and the beginning of the runs. My strategy was if we didn't get that caution, I was thinking about going in with and when we had 20 to go or 20 on that last stint, and I was going to actually take two tires and right sides and play it off that way because I could have made it on fuel, and then the left sides were usually pretty good. So that was going to be an interesting strategy to do, but unfortunately caution came out and couldn't play it off the way it was.
Fourth place tonight for the number 6, Levi Zielinski. Started second, finished fourth. Top 5 for the 6. Thanks for talking.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Moving on now to third place finisher, Michael Henry in the number 88. Michael, a spectacular race, new to the series, new to the league, but a podium finish your first time out in a great battle at the end there. Walk us through your night and challenging Burrell, Zielinski, and others for that third spot.
Well, it's always fun racing against Levi and everybody. It's a good group. I know a bunch of these guys from other leagues and in official races. Um, it was really just a race of just staying smart, which is hard for me to do a lot of times. But, I mean, it seemed to work out in the end, just trying to save as much tire as possible for the end. It seemed like we went a little bit too conservative that second run, but, yeah, I'll take home a third place finish any day of the week.
We saw the track temperature cool down about 10 degrees over the course of the run. How did the track change from lap 1 to lap 100? And did you have to adjust your driving style to compensate?
Well, 10 degrees you won't feel as much, but it will show on the lap times, especially as the run progresses. Your lap times will stay a little bit more consistent, not fall off as much. But it didn't seem to help or hurt anybody too much because we're all on the same racetrack.
All right, Michael Henry, congratulations. Third place in his first run here in 3WideRacing Triple Crown. We'll see you next time. Mike, thanks for talking.
Appreciate it, guys.
Absolutely. Moving on now to Ethan Burrell driving the number 1 car tonight. Second, 1.2 seconds short of Tate Lytle. Ethan, if you had some more laps, I think you probably could have caught Tate, but what'd you need to go get that 56?
Yeah, it's kind of just all night I was kind of running the tire strategy a little bit. I felt like I had speed to keep up with the top guys, but it's just backing off and saving like that, and it worked really well. I kind of ran out of time, and you cost a lot of time trying to pass people. So, but it was a great race. I had a lot of fun. It was my first time in the series, so we'll take it, man. The second place is good. Just a little short of that win, but all good.
All right, second place for the number 1 car. Ethan, thanks for talking. Hopefully we'll see you around a little bit more. Have a good night.
Yeah, thank you. I just want to shout out my grandma, Aunt Judy, and girlfriend Rachel. Thanks to Levi for pulling me into the series, and we'll go get him next week.
All right, Ethan, have a great night.
Thanks, you too.
Sure thing. All right, moving on now to Tate Lytle. He got it done. A little bit short on the Cup Championship this year, Tate, but coming out here in the 3WideRacing League Triple Crown, you get it done. Probably the most consistent of anybody tonight. How'd you win this evening?
I don't know, I kind of hit the right amount of aggressiveness on the starts where I could hold around my same position but still have enough tire at the end of the run to take a run at it. I still really don't know what the limits of these new tire models are just because it's the first race that I've done with them. But, always fun to get the win.
The opening couple laps of every run, it seemed like you were a little bit down on pace compared to those around you, but the car seemed to come to you over the course of the run. Did you drive any harder actively in those opening laps to compensate for the restarts, or were you just kind of knowing that it would come back to you and being patient with that?
I knew if I wanted to keep up with them, I could, but I just figured I'd let them run their tires off the first 10 laps of the run and then pass them and drive away. The last run, I was trying my hardest to keep Matt and Levi side by side because I knew those were probably my 2 biggest competitors, and I was trying to keep them side by side, kind of save my stuff and let them wear theirs out. And it paid off. Started driving away there the last 10 or 15 laps.
All right, Tate Lytle gets it done at Texas. Hey, Tate, congratulations. You're at the top of the Triple Crown National Series standings. We'll see you next time. Have a great night.
Thanks. Thank you, guys.
Absolutely. All right, Finian. Hey, first time we've ever seen this car on this network, and it did not disappoint. Finally, some racing where drivers can control their own destiny, and it doesn't have to be at a road course or a short track.
Yeah, I was going to say, you actually see some passing on the track instead of in the pits. I think this is really, we're going to probably sound like a stuck record by the time this ends, but definitely enjoying this a lot more than the Cup package, especially considering that we had 3 series using the old Cup car. I got a little monotonous at times seeing the same kind of racing over and over and over again. So it's nice to see, these guys able to flex their muscles, drive the way they want to, and then really seeing that bring the best of the guys to the top.
Absolutely, and over the course of the run, you see comers and goers, and it depends. I mean, if you're seeing a lot of cautions, you have to push harder. It changes who's out front. You get long runs, you're going to get a different group of guys. It's not the same 2 people dominating the series either, so it's a pleasant thing to see. But congratulations, all these drivers put on a great race. We'll see you next Sunday for the same thing. In the meantime, again, tomorrow night we're going to go street stock dirt racing at Eldora at 9:40 p.m. And then again, Tuesday, Grid Life and Elite Mods. Wednesday, Washington, D.C. region, SCCA. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you. Have a great night.